Welcome to the new video. In this video we will apply pagination in our list. So this is the app we have. In here we are showing items in our list, so we need to apply pagination. Let's say if we are fetching data from a network and there are 1000 records, so we do not fetch 1000 records in our first request. We will fetch them in incremental approach. Let's say in first request we fetch 10 items or 20 items, and in second request we load the next page which contains 10 items. So for that purpose I have modified the to-do repository. So you can find that this initial code from the video description below. So in that we have the get items method which fetch the data from the network, but right now we have in memory dummy list of to-dos, and I have modified this method with these two parameters. Let's say if last item ID is -1, then the first page will be loaded, and and here we also set the page size. By default it's 10. So I have write some of the logic to incorporate these logic of pagination. So although this if we considering that data will be coming from the network, then this logic will be implemented from the backend side, but for testing purpose, as we have in memory list, so we have implemented in here. So you can go through with this function if you want, and if you have any query, so do let me know in the comments below. I will definitely respond to you. So now let's proceed on the UI side, that how we will identify that we have reached end of the list and we need to fetch the data. So for that we go to our to-do list content, and in that we have to-do LazyColumn. So in that we have a property state, so we will set that state property. For that, here we create a variable list state. Remember list state, and we pass that to this LazyColumn, and we need to identify that whether user have reached the end of the list. So for that we use launch effect side effect function. In that we provide the key list state dot can scroll forward. So if when this property is false, that means user have reached end of the list. So we write a check here that list state dot can scroll forward, and if it is false, then we invert this condition, and in that we fetch the next page. So we send the action to do list action dot fetch next page. And we haven't defined this action yet, so we go to do list action, press Control click, and in here we press Control D, make copy of this one and name it as fetch next page. And in our to-do list view model we handle that action, and in here we have onAction method, and we press Alt Enter on this when condition, add remaining branches, and in here we call the method fetch next page. Press Alt Enter, create this function, and in this function what we will do is we get the information of the last item in the list. So we are using hash map, so from hash map we get the this key information, that what is the current list group which user is saying we have grouped these list items based on the date. So group key we will get from hash map dot keys dot last, and from this group key I will simply name it as key. From this group key we get this group items list, so we name it as state list, and to do hash map dot get key, and if it is null then we will return from here, and if it is null also we will return from here. Actually it's not possible to get return from here, so I will remove it. And now we will get the last item from the list. So for last item is equal to state list dot last or null. Let's use last only, and we have the last item. So now we need to pass that information to our repository, this method get items. So we come back to the list to-do list view model, and in here we are fetching the first time data in our init block. So we extract this part in a um, separate method. So for that, press Ctrl Alt M and name this function as and name this function as fetch to-dos. And now we need to pass the last item ID in it, and by default this would be -1. And we pass further this property as a parameter to this get items method, so last item ID. So now the next point would be this portion will be same as it is, the sorting mechanism, but here some change is required. So let's say when the page is loaded and the next date data is being loaded, then we don't want to use put all, or let's say for this 14 date we have some entries which will be loaded in next page. So we this line of code won't cover that case. We need to put that next page entries of this 14th date in that list state list which we have against this key. So for that, here what we will do is we will traverse through these items for each key and state list. And in here first we get the existing state list using to-do hash map dot get and pass the key in it, and if it is not null, then we will append all the coming items against this key, add all state list, and if it is null, then we in the else branch we put that as a new key and state list as well. So we will remove this code from here. So now we go back to this fetch next page. So here we call the method fetch to-dos and pass the last item dot id in it. So yeah, so let's run the app and verify this behavior. Okay, so our first page have been loaded, and there is some issue with this page, and that is that this 15 value should be 15 date entries should be shown on top, because we sort these data in descending order and show the recent data on the top. So in our hash map, although we are in this fetch to dos, although we are doing sorting based on clarity dat and putting that data in the to-do hash map, but the thing is this to-do hash map sort these keys based on ascending order. So that's why we are seeing 14 value on the top and 15 at the bottom. To resolve this issue, we need to reverse the data of this hash map. So we reverse that in this to-do map which we are accessing outside of the view model. So we use sort to sorted map and pass the comparator dot reverse order. So now if you run the app again, then we will observe that this is the thing which we expect. Okay, so now we go to the last of the list item and the new items are loaded. We further go down and list new items are loaded, and we are going further down again, and again we are seeing this install updates in the next page. So let's see, verify this thing with the logs that what last item we are sending. So we will print this last item. Create a tag in it. Okay, so let's run the app again and we will print that log. We will observe that log, that what's happening in the background. Okay, so we are going down and the next page, request to next page. When this fetch next page method is called, then the last item which we chose is the journal writing, which is the part of this group. And if we go down further again, and again this journal writing entry is selected as a last item, which is part of this 15th date. So that issue is because we are directly using this to-do hash map, which is sorting based on the keys. So what we will do is we will use the to-do map property, which is a public property, and we are accessing it on the UI side as well. So we will use that. So in that case, we will get the items in the correct list groups in the correct order which we want. So if we run the app again and start scrolling, and on this point the last items order medicines, and in this fetch next page the order medicine item is selected, and we go down further, and here the last item is not visible here, but we are seeing something that testable. And if we do it again, we are seeing another item which is still not visible on the UI side. Again do this and we are seeing another item which is also not visible here. So the issue is that these entries belongs to other dates, and right now we are only seeing these two dates data only. So the issue is that whenever any list to-dos which are belongs to any other date are loaded, then that are being added in our this to-do hash map, but they are not reflected on the UI side. This is because this to-do hash this simple hash map is not observable on UI side, because when initially we land on this screen, then these two dates data is loaded, and when on the next pagination, if there are some entries which belongs to this date, will be appended here and will be presented here, because this hash map contains snapshot state list, and whenever any items added in this list will be reflected here. But when any data which belongs to the next date will came, means previous date before this 14 came, then that entry will be saved in this hash map, but won't be reflected on the UI side because it's not observable. So for that, there is a small change that we need to use snapshot state map and initialize it with mutable state map. And this is the change that we made, and our hash map will be observable on UI side. So let's run the app again. Okay, so our app is up and running, and now at this point we see the logs as well. So if we start scroll down on 14, next page is loaded, and we are using from the order medicines onward, we are seeing the items on the next page. If we go further down, and then we have some entries of the next page which belongs to 12, and we are seeing them. If we go further down, and the next page is loaded, and at this point the test app build is the last visible item, and these are the entries. This from learn new recipe on and onward, these are the entries coming for the this next page which is loaded. So if we go further down, and we are seeing the another next page, and that issue of these group keys have been resolved, that whenever any new data came, then that will be reflected on the UI side. So with this we come to the end of this video. I hope this information will be very meaningful for you. So if you have any query, then do let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Bye.